concepts. 1, 8H is an intro into what we call... This is the intro into what we call counting methods or counting principles. It is essentially the chapters about how can we count things more efficiently. And there are 2 key words associated with it. One is the word or, and the other word is and. When you first read it, these 2 examples are pretty straightforward, but you see the difference here. See, in this scenario, if I want to choose one drink from a choice of 5 fruit juice options, okay, or, see the key word there is or, one drink from a choice of 6 soft drink options, and then the question is then how many choices are there, or how many choices do I have to choose from? Remember, I'm choosing one drink. Now I can choose one drink that is a fruit juice, or I can choose one drink that is a soft drink. Okay? The point is that as soon as I say the word or, you can visualize this. If I choose juices, I had 5 of them. So juice number 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 options that I could have chose one from. Or, as a soft drink, I had 6 options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I ask you, what is the total number of options I have? We're counting it now. We can see it's 5 with an extra 6. That gives you a total of what? Total of 11 options. But the key word there was or. Because you had either option, you could choose a juice or you can choose a type of soft drink. That's why you include the extra 6. Versus, if you have a look at the second scenario now, if I want to choose one drink from a choice of 5 fruit juice options and one drink from a choice of 6 soft drinks options, then how many choices are there? So see the wording. When you say one drink and, so the key word is and then you say one drink again, this one doesn't actually mean you pick one drink. This now means you end up with how many drinks? 2 drinks, because one is a fruit juice and then I'm going to have a soft drink. So I actually walk out with 2. Whereas the first scenario, I'm choosing one or. So it's either juice or soft drink. So you actually walk out with one bottle, but you had 11 options to choose from. Versus this one, say I chose the juice, I had option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After I've chosen one, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to choose from. So for every juice that I choose, there is 6 possibilities that I could have got for soft drinks. So that means 6 possible options are here. I could have got, say, orange juice, Coke, orange juice, Fanta, orange juice, Sprite. There are 6 different soft drinks I could have got. That means there's 6 options here already. But then all the other different types of juices, OJ to apple juice to blackcurrant, they all have another 6 options, 6 options, 6 options. So if you count them all together, we can see this will have an extra 6, an extra 6, an extra 6, an extra 6. So essentially you're doing 6 times 5. You get a total of 30 options. 30 possible options. So that's the difference between the two, the word and the word or, which actually is the fundamentals of what you will do here. This is adding, timesing to get 30 ways, and that's what the study is. So at this point, it looks straightforward. When we start playing around with the different scenarios, that's when it gets complicated, arguably one of the harder topics to learn. So let's do the first example. Actually, we got 10 minutes. We can do this. You can do. I'll do a video on this one, so you can do this example on Friday when you're watching it. But that's an intro to the difference between or and. Now, if you flip over to the next page, can I get a show of hands who know or have seen the word factorial? Show of hands. Oh, wow. Most of you learned it already. Factorial, for those who haven't, is this symbol, the exclamation mark. When you say 5 factorial, that just means 5 times, and you do repeated multiplication all the way down. So you do 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and you stop at 1. That's what this formula is saying. Whatever n is, the next one is n minus 1, next one down is n minus 2, then n minus 3, all the way until you get to 1. That's what factorial means. So 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. There is a note. 0 factorial is actually equal to 1. And sometimes students are like, well, why is that true? So I've made a little proof thing here for you to pick up a pattern. So let's fill it in so that you can refer to it and understand where the proof comes from. So here's the logic. Notice that when you do 5 factorial, that is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. If you type on your calculator, just work it out. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60. And then double that is 120, right? So we know that 5 factorial is 120. What's interesting is if I asked you to do 5 factorial divided by itself, so divided by 5, this is what it looks like. 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and then you divide by 5. These 5s will cancel out. But then 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, what's another way of writing that? 4 factorial, which we know is the answer is 24. But then we follow the pattern now, so then if I go down to the next one, if I then say, all right, let's take 4 factorial and then divide it by 4. You see, that would have the same pattern again. 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, but if you divide it by 4, the first leading digit will be removed, and you end up with 3 times 2 times 1, it's 3 factorial. So there's a pattern here. When I do 5 factorial divided by 5, I end up with 4 factorial. When I do 4 factorial divided by 4, I end up with 3 factorial. So then if I follow the pattern, 3 factorial divided by 3 should give you 2 factorial. If I do 2 factorial divided by 2, 1 factorial. And then 1 factorial divided by 1 factorial, 0 factorial. So this one we don't know. Okay? This one we still do know. We do know that 1 factorial just means 1 times 1, or just 1. So you end up with 1. So if we answer this question now, this is the problem. This is what we don't know. What does 0 factorial equal to? Well, 0 factorial is equal to 1 factorial, which we know is 1, divided by 1 ends up being 1. So therefore, 0 factorial must equal to 1. And even if you went to then the next one, 0 factorial divided by 0, well, then it will be undefined, etc. So that's why from here on, we know. Okay, so 0 factorial divided by 1, it's going to be 1, and you can even try, this one won't work, okay, because dividing by 0 is undefined. All right, I'm going to stop the video there, but this factorial option, I'll explain in the video why this is important to understand. It's one of the bases to counting methods. In order to count, you need to know the two differences, or and then the use of repeated multiplication where it's dropping down is one of the key essence of that chapter. Remember, it's not going to be on the exam, but it is something you're going to do next year if you're doing 10 Enhanced, and it's one of the topics that I find students really struggle with. So it's worthwhile just getting your head around it. All right, team, let's pack up. You got about 3 to 4 minutes left before the bell.